I distinctly remember saying during the campaign that it's not just Donald Trump that you have to worry about. It's the people that will surround Donald Trump that you have to worry about. Happy Monday, peeps. It's back to work for me today. And just like so many other people out there who is heading back to work after a 2-week break, yeah, my soul is tortured. Anywho, if you've come across this video and are not subscribed to my channel, go ahead and click that subscribe button. If you're over on the tick to the talk, please make sure that you hit that follow button if you are not already following me. Over the weekend, I did one video talking about Donald Trump invading Venezuela. And I simply came at it from the angle of the many people were going to be out there talking about how what Donald Trump did was illegal. My video reminds everyone that Donald Trump has broad immunity. And yes, what he did was illegal, but Donald Trump won't face any charges because of it. And in that video, I mentioned that I did not believe any of the reasons that Donald Trump, Marco Rubio, his administration, I believed none of the reasons why they were attacking small fishing boats outside of Venezuela. I was not going to believe any excuse they came up with to invade Venezuela, because I believe that Venezuela had something that Donald Trump, the people in his administration, the United States, Venezuela had something that they wanted: oil. Donald Trump did a press conference later that day when I did that video, and in that press conference, he all but admitted that it was about oil. And in that video, I mentioned how I did not believe Pete Hegseth, Donald Trump, Marco Rubio, when they were coming out with reasons and explanations as to why they were bombing fishing boats outside of Venezuela. I told y'all that I don't trust the United States in whatever the reason was going to be for them attacking Venezuela, which the reason was drugs. I didn't believe it. Anything relating to drugs, I didn't believe it, because I know that he just pardoned, I forget the man's name, Honduras, the president of Honduras. He just pardoned him and saved him from a 45-year sentence for drugs. Yeah, I'm like, Donald Trump does not give a shit about drugs coming into this country. It is the excuse that they use to do their other underhanded, dirty shit. Anywho, later that day, Donald Trump had a press conference. And in that press conference, he mentioned that it was about the oil. And when Donald Trump made that admission, I distinctly remembered this story. The oil companies donated heavily to Donald Trump and his campaign. And Donald Trump is just giving these oil companies what they paid for. Yeah. Donald Trump is proud. The people who are around Donald Trump, they are proud. They have no shame, none whatsoever. They don't care about the law, no way, no how. They are proud of their actions, and now they are adding on to the list. Yeah, they invaded Venezuela, and now they're talking about Cuba, they're talking about Greenland, they're talking about Colombia, they're talking about Mexico. You got that right. The peace president, the no new wars president, is now going down a list of other countries that he wants to invade. On his flight back from Mar-a-Lago to the White House, he had some things to say during an interview. I'm going to share a few clips of him and what people surrounding him have to say? Just so you'll know. Just so you'll know.
Here, you take down the source of the problem. President Trump didn't wake up one day and say, hey, let's take Venezuela. He did what other people talked about, but didn't have the balls or the guts to do it. This is a good thing. This is not interventionism. This is making America safer. We're going to be more prosperous because of the business deals. There are going to be Americans alive today because he shut down a narco-terrorist state called Venezuela. This is a good thing, not a bad thing.
And the oil companies are going to go in and rebuild their system. They're going to spend billions of dollars, and they're going to take the oil out of the ground, and we're taking back what they stole. Remember, they stole our property. It was the greatest theft in the history of America. Nobody has ever stolen our property like they have. They took our oil away from us. They took the infrastructure away. And all that infrastructure is rotted and decayed. And the oil companies are going to go in and rebuild it. We're not going to spend very much money at all, if anything. But the oil companies are going to go, we're going to take our oil back. But we're going to also do things that, when you look at what he did, the drugs are terrible, but also terrible. He sent hundreds of thousands of people into our country that should not be here. And that means from prisons. That means Tren de Aragua, the gang, yes. Tren de Aragua, that comes out of Maduro's country. He was very friendly with that gang. Well, they're having a hard time right now. You know, we had Tren de Aragua all over Washington, D.C., and they got the hell beat out of them.
Should have known that ladybugs was up in the mix. If you don't understand the reference, people call Lindsey Graham ladybugs. Go on over to Google and ask Google to explain to you, why do people call Lindsey Graham ladybug? But ladybug is a #1 warmonger. I never understood why MAGA nuts believed that the Democrats were the warmongers. They aren't. All you have to do is listen to people like Lindsey Graham, listen to how they talk, and you would know who the warmongers really are. They make tons of money off of war, Republicans. And that's why when you look back through history, it's the majority of Republican presidents. They are the reason why we end up in war.
Could have done it. And as to this commander-in-chief, he did something people talked about doing. You just wait for Cuba. Cuba is a communist dictatorship that's killed priests and nuns. They've preyed on their own people. Their days are numbered. We're going to wake up one day, I hope in 26, in our backyard, we're going to have allies in these countries doing business with America, not narco-terrorist dictators killing Americans. This is a big frigging day. And everybody in the world is thinking differently than they were just a few days ago because of what you did.
And on Greenland, on Greenland now?
Yeah.
On Greenland.
How did we come up to Greenland?
So, do you expect to take an action against Greenland?
Well, I don't want to talk about Greenland. Let's talk about Venezuela, Russia, Ukraine, and we'll worry about Greenland in about 2 months. Let's talk about Greenland in 20 days.
On Venezuela, we talk so much about energy.
By the way, I will say this about Greenland. We need Greenland from a national security situation. It's so strategic. Right now, Greenland is covered with Russian and Chinese ships all over the place. We need Greenland from the standpoint of national security. And Denmark is not going to be able to do it, I can tell you.
I think it's a big
You know what Denmark did recently to boost up security in Greenland? They added one more dog sled. It's true. They thought that was a great move.
What would the justification be for a plane to Greenland? What would the justification?
Oh, I don't want to talk about Greenland now. I just say this. We need Greenland from the standpoint of national security. And the European Union needs us to have it. And they know that.
I think there's
Cuba and Greenland, I hope you're getting ready. They laughing and joking, but they are very serious. There's more.
Go ahead.
Now, are you going to Delcy Rodriguez, let opposition figures return or free any political prisoners?
We haven't gotten to that yet. Right now, what we want to do is fix up the oil, fix up the country, bring the country back, and then have elections.
Now, is it fair?
We better bring the country back. Otherwise, you're gonna have a mess that's so bad. It was really bad. It's going to get a lot worse unless we go in and fix it.
Is the U.S. going
Speak with them before the operation took place?
Yes.
Did you maybe tip them off?
Before and after. And they want to go in, and they're going to do a great job for the people of Venezuela. And they're going to represent us.
He went from being the peace president, he went from being the no new wars president to invading Venezuela and letting you know that he's getting ready to put boots on the ground. That's who y'all voted for.